And Mark McGwire, the Padres bench coach, joins us here in the second. Mark.
Hello, guys.
Good to have you back.
Well, it's good to be back. Good to be on the baseball field watching games.
Everything's good now at home with your wife and
kids?
Yeah,
my wife's feeling a lot better. It's going to be a while before she gets back to 100%, but she's doing well. Got a great support system, and the Padres are great. Allowed me. I was gone about 23, 24 days, and need to be home, wanting to be here. You know, it's tough, and well, my wife's fighting, so it's all going to be good.
Your reaction to now sitting on the bench and working shoulder to shoulder with the new skipper Green?
I think it's going to be exciting. You know, I love challenges. It's definitely a challenge for me. Get out of the cage all the time and come here, and I love the game of baseball. Andy's brilliant. You know, I've said this that. He's a young Tony La Russa, you know, being around Tony for so many years and listen to Tony speak, and when he speaks, people listen, and that's what Andy's done here in the camp, and you know what he did over there in Arizona with the defense and stuff. It's just going to be exciting to watch.
Mark, spent a lot of time with Tony La Russa in your playing career. How has that corresponded, or how has that correlated into you now being a bench coach? How much did you learn from the Hall of Fame manager?
What not to learn, man. He was awesome. So. I mean, he's just he knows how to run a ball game, and I mean, when you play and coach, obviously coaching, it's a little bit different aspect of looking at it. When you're playing, you're sort of thinking about what you can do offensively and out there defensively. But here as a bench coach, you got to watch everything and be the eyes and ears for Andy. Make sure that he understands that certain times later in the game, we might have to think about pinch hitting, double switching. It's going to be exciting, so I'm looking forward to it.
Trevor Brown leading off this Giants second. The 24-year-old from UCLA has walked. This is Ramiro Pena. Last year at this time, he was in the Padre camp, spent the entire year, Pena, at El Paso, where he had a good year, hit 300, 308 to be exact, and now the Giants taking a look at him as a possible utility man. We're chatting with Padre bench coach Mark McGwire, who has so many incredible memories in this great game of baseball, and obviously you're going to be a lifer.
I hope so. It's in my blood.
Manage someday? I mean, I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I've never ruled it out, but you know, it's step by step, and I just love the game. You know, I was out of the game for close to 10 years before I got back, and Tony, you know, got me back in as a hitting coach in 2010, and now here I am. Basically in my 7th year as a coach, so very excited. I love teaching. I love giving back the things that I've learned through all my coaches and what I've learned as a player, and especially the mental side of this game. You know, some of these young kids today think that this game's physical, but this game is all mental. Yes, you're in the big leagues, or you have the ability to play in the big leagues because of your ability, but once you get here, you have to understand this game is in between the ears.
Well, there's so many parts of the game that are built for failure.
Yep.
And you know, emotionally and mentally, to be able to attack that, and even the grizzled veteran has trouble.
Yeah, that's why it's all baby steps. And you know, when I got into coaching, that's the biggest thing. Is just it's all about throwing that bone out there and just sort of having the guys chomp at it a little bit, and piece by piece, and have them think about it over years. Nothing's ever overnight, doesn't happen overnight, and nothing's ever easy in this ball game. Like you talked about, this game is built on failure. But it's the great ones and the ones that last the longest is they bust through failure. They know how to bust through failure. How do you turn an 0 for 4 to keep an 0 for 4 instead of an 0 for 21 or something? Understanding that offensively, when you're making outs, how are you making outs? The majority of your outs that you make are on pitches you can't handle. So the more passive you are, the more aggressive you are, the more the game's going to go away from you. The more simple you make it, the more the game's going to come back to you.
Mark, I've got a question regarding Matt Kemp. Now, you had some time with him as a hitting coach in Los Angeles. Now you both are together in San Diego. Talk about your relationship with Matt and how that relationship works.
Yeah, well, it took time. You know, Matt's a great athlete, and when I got there, you know, he was coming off some injuries. He had a shoulder injury, then he had an ankle injury, he had a hamstring injury. But it was the second half of 14 that he really waved the white flag, and he said, "Okay, Mark, what do we need to do?" Along with John Valentin, my assistant hitting coach, and he had a fabulous second half of the season. I think he was probably one of the hottest hitters in the game of baseball at that time. And actually, we had some talk today in batting practice about things to get back to what we were doing in 14. Turn it.
There's one back to first and a double play.
That's beautiful.
Around the horn, 5-4-3 after a couple of walks to Brown and Pena. That old double play ball. Pitcher's best friend, and that'll bring up Jake Peavy.
Yeah, so Matt's just it's spring training's a thing where you just try to find the feeling, and I've been gone for a while. In the first couple of days, I saw a few things that Matt was doing, and he fought off that pitch and got a nice little hit. So, but he's feeling it now. He had a good talk today, so I expect some good things coming in the near future.
We'll let you go here. You got to go back to work, but I can't help but reflect upon, as you're rooting for your Trojans in the NCAA tournament, back when he was playing for Rod Dado.
Oh yeah.
Randy Johnson and Mark McGwire were the pitchers. How about that for a 1-2 combo?
That is true. That is very, very true.
And your catcher was
Jack Del Rio.
Del Rio, the great NFL player.
Yeah.
How about that for a combination?
What was your repertoire, Mark, on the mound as a Trojan?
Fastball, changeup.
Nice. No breaking ball?
Well, it's funny. I went to SC to learn the breaking stuff from Marcel Latchman. The first day of my freshman year, Marcel Latchman left and said, "Hey, I'm going to go run the minor league system for at the end of the California Angels." So I didn't get a chance to work with him, but I turned into a hitter, and I turned into a hitter because of the old San Diego State coach Jim Dietz.
Well, Mark, thank you. Fight on.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mark.